as I'm sure you can tell from the title, we are going to be doing a haul. I know I did a haul a couple months ago for my birthday, and I have enough books for another haul now. So there's quite a few books here, and I'm gonna go through them. I'm gonna try to make it quick. I'm gonna try to make it so that I can show you guys these books, tell you why I'm so excited about them, and hopefully you'll be excited about them too. Okay, so I have two stacks in front of me, so I'm not really sure which one I want to go with first. I think I'm gonna go with this one. So the first book that's in this haul is Malice by Heather Walter, and this is a sapphic adult fantasy, and I'm pretty sure it's also enemies to lovers and a villain origin story, which is super exciting. I know that this is also a retelling of Sleeping Beauty, so that's fun. It has so many of the elements that I love in fantasy. I really love reading fairy tale retellings, and I just kept having this book recommended to me, and I knew I just had to pick it up and read it, and hopefully I'm going to enjoy it. I don't think I'm going to read it this month or even maybe next month, but it'll hopefully be sometime this year. The next book is one that I actually mentioned in one of my vlogs, and I kind of explained why I bought this, but I'll explain it again. Basically, I was looking for an audiobook on Hoopla, and I checked out this book, and I really hated the narrator. The narrator was just whispering the entire time. It sounded a lot like ASMR, and I do not like ASMR, so it just was not going to work for me. And that is Force of Souls by Lori M. Lee. So I ended up buying this book physically because I was so intrigued by the premise of this book, and I knew that I would want to read it, but I just wasn't going to be able to read it as an audiobook. So I was really excited when I found this physically. And on the inside it says, "I have no family, no home, no talent other than fighting. If I'm not to be the shadow, then I am nothing. I am tired of being nothing." And that was really what pulled me in and intrigued me from the beginning. Like, I was like, I don't even need to read the rest of the synopsis. I'm already pulled in. I just want to read this book so bad. So I'm really excited about this one. I don't know when I'm going to get to it, but hopefully it'll be soon. And it just seems so intriguing. So if you've read this book, let me know how you liked it. The next one is actually kind of influenced by my reading habits lately, because I have been reading so many retellings of The Phantom of the Opera. So I was like, I might as well actually own The Phantom of the Opera by Gaston Leroux and actually read it for the first time ever. So I'm really excited to own this edition and have it in my collection, and hopefully I will read it soon. It's not a very long book. It's like pretty far under 300 pages, so I could probably read this in a day or two. I am really excited about it though, and if you know me, then you know that I kind of went through a Phantom of the Opera phase back in high school, where I literally watched the movie every single day for an entire summer and just fell in love with the musical, and I love it so much. So it's kind of amazing that I haven't read the book ever. Like, this is gonna be my first time reading it. I'm so excited, and I don't really know like the general opinion of this book. I feel like I never hear anybody talk about it, or like I see people own the book and they'll read it, but I don't know what they think about it. So I'm really excited to dive into this and see if I end up enjoying it. Who knows? Okay, so the next two books are from my, I believe, June book of the month. So the first one is The Maidens by Alex Michaelides, and I think that this was actually my main book of the month. This is the one that I was like, I need to read this book. And it says, a spellbinding tale of psychological suspense weaving together Greek mythology, murder, and obsession. So that completely intrigued me when I first read it, and I know that it's also kind of like a dark academia book, and I'm still kind of into that dark academia setting, so I'm excited to see how the author weaves through Greek mythology and this dark academia setting. And also it's set at Cambridge University, and it kind of follows this cult or this group called the Maidens. So I'm very excited about this book. I know that this author is super popular. I can't remember what else he's written, but I know that a lot of people really enjoy his books, or book, I can't remember, but I'm very excited. This is gonna be my first book from him, so I hope I really enjoy it. And the add-on book that I got for the month of June was Half Sick of Shadows by Laura Sebastian, and this is a King Arthur retelling, but I'm pretty sure that it focuses on like the female characters in the story. It says, the Lady of Shalott reclaims her story in this bold feminist reimagining of the Arthurian myth from the best-selling author of Ash Princess. So I actually do own Ash Princess, but I haven't read it yet. I keep meaning to pick it up because I know that RC really likes that book, and I'm just like, I need to read it. I really trust his ratings. I feel like we have pretty similar taste. Sometimes we disagree on things, but for the most part, we have pretty similar tastes. So I feel like I'm going to like Ash Princess. I just haven't picked it up yet. So hopefully I'll pick that one up before I pick this book up, because I feel like that's just like how it should be. But I am very excited to have this book. And I feel like for the longest I haven't been really into Arthurian legend retellings until I read Legendborn, and I loved that book. So I'm kind of having a little bit more faith in Arthurian legends, and I'm hoping that this book is just as good and I fall in love with it and it'll be amazing. The next book is one that was actually on my most anticipated reading books of 2021. Okay, that didn't make sense, but I know it was on there, and it is Ace of Shades by Farida Abike Ayamide, and I am so excited about this book. I'm pretty sure this is also Dark Academia. I don't know if I have any other Dark Academia books on this list. I might have one more, but I'm just so excited to get to this book. I think I'm gonna love it. I've heard so many good things about this one. Also, look at this cover in person. Oh my gosh. And then on the back, it's literally gorgeous. And the spine, I have just fallen in love with the cover of this book. And on the inside it says, all you need to know is I'm here to divide and conquer, like all great tyrants do. This is kind of like, I remember it being pitched as sort of like Gossip Girl-esque, and I guess there's this like someone is going by the name Aces, and they start to send anonymous text messages to the students at this private academy. So I think that's kind of where the Gossip Girl aspect comes into play. I am so excited to read this book. Like I said, so many people have loved it, and I trust a lot of people who have read it and loved it, so I think I will also enjoy it. The next book is one that I've been totally anticipating this year, and I actually pre-ordered it. I rarely pre-order books. I know that's probably bad, but I just don't like to have like a pre-order just sitting there waiting. I usually forget about it. So I got Fire with Fire by Destiny Soraya, and I am so excited for this book. It is a fantasy, it's YA, it's about these two sisters, and I love sister stories. I didn't grow up with a sister. I only have brothers. So I love when a story features two sisters. I think that's so cool. I'm always interested. It's a total sell for me. And also I really love the author Destiny Soraya. I've read both of her other books, really enjoyed them both. So I think I'm actually going to enjoy this one as well. It says, I didn't choose you and you didn't choose me, but we have each other now, always. Danny and Eden Rivera were born to kill dragons, but that's the only thing the sisters have in common. For Danny, dragon slaying takes a backseat to everyday high school life. For Eden, slaying is her life. Yet they both agree on one thing. Where dragons are concerned, it's kill or be killed. That's exciting. I really enjoyed this premise. I'm so intrigued. And also it says, what if the story we've been told about dragons is wrong? That's interesting. So I'm so excited to pick this one up. I'm hoping that I'll love it just as much as I've loved her other books, and I'm just so excited. I feel like I haven't heard anybody talk about this book, so it's pretty underrated, and I'm ready to fall in love with it. The next one is one I have been hearing good things about everywhere, and that is The Wolf and the Woodsman by Ava Reed. And I follow Ava on Twitter, so I was super excited to get this book. I'm pretty sure that this is adult fantasy. It says, in the vein of Naomi Novik's New York Times bestseller Spinning Silver and Catherine Arden's national bestseller The Bear and the Nightingale, this unforgettable debut inspired by Hungarian history and Jewish mythology follows a young pagan woman with hidden powers and a one-eyed captain of the Woodsman as they form an unlikely alliance to thwart a tyrant. I've heard so many good things about this book, and I've heard so many good things about this main ship in the book. I feel like I'm really going to love this book. I'm pretty sure that it might be enemies to lovers, or sort of kind of like rivals to lovers. I don't know how deep it goes, but I am so excited about it. I'm ready for like the Jewish mythology, for the paganism, for the Hungarian history. I think it's going to be so exciting and so interesting, and totally something very different than I've read before, because I haven't read Spinning Silver or The Bear and the Nightingale, so this is going to be totally different than what I've read. The next book is another book of the month pick, but I think that this was from May, and this is Ariadne by Jennifer Saint, and I picked this one out. The back it says sister, lover, traitor, hero. Oh, this says May, so yeah, I was correct. This is a Greek mythology retelling of Ariadne, and it says Ariadne, princess of Crete, grows Crete. I always want to say Crete, like the Star Wars planet, Crete. Oh my gosh. Anyway, grows up greeting the dawn from her beautiful dancing floor and listening to her nursemaid's stories of gods and heroes. But beneath her golden palace echoed the ever-present hoofbeats of her brother, the Minotaur, a monster who demands blood sacrifice. When Theseus, the prince of Athens, arrives to vanquish the beast, Ariadne sees in his green eyes not a threat but an escape. Defying the gods, betraying her family and country, and risking everything for love, Ariadne helps Theseus kill the Minotaur. But will Ariadne's decision ensure her happy ending? And what of Phaedra, the beloved younger sister she leaves behind? Hypnotic, propulsive, and utterly transporting, Jennifer Saint's Ariadne forges a new epic, one that puts the forgotten women of Greek mythology back at the heart of the story as they strive for a better world. I'm so excited about this. I'm hoping that I'm gonna love it. I haven't really heard anything about this book, which is kind of surprising. I feel like a lot of people would like it, so maybe people didn't like this book. I don't know. I'm still excited to read it. I'm still going to dive into it at some point, and I'm so excited. I feel like I need to read more of my book of the month picks. I feel like I pick them out and I'm really excited about them, and then I never pick them up. So that's definitely something that I have to work on. So the next couple of books are ones that I have bought from Target. They still have the Target sticker on them. So we're gonna dive into them. I think that I have like 5 books here from Target, which is just crazy. They've been having some really good picks though lately, which is kind of funny because for a while I felt like they had not really had a very good selection in store. So the first one that I have here is Mary Jane by Jessica Anya Blow, and this is an adult historical fiction. It's set in the 70s, I believe, and it says Almost Famous meets Daisy Jones in the Six in this funny, wise, and tender novel about a 14-year-old girl's coming of age in 1970s Baltimore, caught between her straight-laced family and the progressive one she nannies for, which happens to be secretly hiding a famous rock star and his movie star wife for the summer. I just like was totally intrigued when I saw this cover. That was like immediately I was like, ooh, what's that? That looks like something I might like. And then when I saw Daisy Jones and the Six kind of as like a comp title, I was like, ooh, I might really like this book because I love Daisy Jones and the Six. I've read it twice, loved it both times, so I'm really excited to find another historical fiction book that's set in the 70s that kind of has to do with rock music. That means I can listen to like my rock playlist again. It'll be so much fun. So I'm really excited about this book. I think this will be one that I really enjoy. I haven't heard anybody talk about this book, so I don't know what people think, but you know, I'm ready to dive into this book at any moment. You know, I feel like this is going to be a book where it's going to be a mood read. I'm going to have to be in the correct mood to read it. So we're gonna see when that happens. The next book is one that I've actually started and I know that I'm really enjoying, and that is The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. I am currently 29 pages into this book, so not that far, but from what I've read of this book, I've really enjoyed it. It is so interesting and so well written, and the writing style just like propels you through the story so quickly, and it's so addicting. I don't know what it is, what Grady Hendrix laced into the writing of this book, but it is just, it makes me want to read it compulsively. So I'm super excited about reading and finishing this book. It's definitely out of my comfort zone. It's not something that I would typically pick up, but I think that this might be one of my new favorite books. It's just so much fun, and I really want to dedicate like a nice summer day to sitting outside and reading this book with a cup of coffee, you know, iced coffee obviously, and just enjoying enjoying this book. I think I'm really going to love it if I put myself in like the correct mood. The next 3 Target books were kind of like compulsive buys, I guess. I hadn't really meant to buy anything, but I had seen 2 of these books in paperback, which, you know, they had been in hardcover, and I wasn't really sure if I wanted to buy them in hardcover, but once I saw them in paperback, I was sold. And then the other one is like a romance that I kind of heard about, but once I saw it in person, I was like, okay, I need to get this book. So the first book is actually one that I saw on TikTok, and I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna need this book, and that is Luster by Raven Leilani. And I had kept seeing this book in hardcover, and like I said, I didn't think I really wanted to buy it in hardcover, so I was really happy to see it in paperback. This also is the New York Times Book Review 100 Notable Books of 2020, so that's exciting. Oh, also, it was a favorite book of the year by Barack Obama, so that's fun. It says Edie is stumbling through her 20s, sharing a subpar apartment, clocking in and out of her admin job, making a series of inappropriate sexual choices. She is also haltingly giving heat and air to the art that simmers inside her. And then she meets Eric, a man with a family in New Jersey, including a wife who has agreed to an open marriage with rules. Soon, Edie, or Eddie, I'm not sure how to pronounce that name, I'm so sorry, finds herself invited into Eric's home, not by Eric, where she becomes a de facto role model to his adopted daughter. I'm gonna call her Edie. Edie may be the only black woman young Akilah knows. Irresistibly unruly and strikingly beautiful, razor sharp and slyly comic, sexually charged and utterly absorbing, Raven Leilani's Luster is a portrait of a young woman trying to make sense of her life, her hunger, her anger, in a tumultuous era. It is also a haunting, aching depiction of how hard it is to believe in your own talent and of the unexpected influences that bring us into ourselves. Wow, that's gonna be really, really deep, really, really heavy, I think, at least in my soul. I love books like this. I think this kind of also reminds me a little bit of like Such a Fun Age, which I read, I want to say last year. Did I read it this year or last year? I can't remember, but I loved that book, and it like just spoke to me on such a personal level of like being in your 20s and not really having this direction, having a lot of feelings and a lot of emotions, a lot of creativity, but not having like an outlet for it, not having like this specific set road that you're going down. So I think I'm gonna like this book. I have really high hopes for it, and I've heard so many good things about this book. So many people, like when I posted a picture of this book, were like, yes, you need to read Luster. So I'm really excited about this book. I got a little emotional reading the synopsis because I do remember when I was in Target, I only read the first paragraph. I didn't read the second paragraph, or else I probably would have started crying in the middle of Target. So that's how I'm feeling emotionally right now. The next book is On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong, and I've heard so many good things about this book. Literally so many good things. I've also heard that it's super emotional, so maybe I shouldn't read these 2 back to back. On the back it says, On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous is a letter from a son to a mother who cannot read. Written when the speaker, little dog, is in his late 20s, the letter unearths a family history that began before he was born, a history whose epicenter is rooted in Vietnam. At once a witness to the fraught yet undeniable love between a single mother and her son, it is also a brutally honest exploration of race, class, masculinity, and our current American moment. Immersed as we are in addiction, violence, and trauma, but undergirded by passion and tenderness. The question of how to survive and how to make it a kind of joy powers the most important debut novel of many years. Ooh! This feels like it's gonna be a really heavy book as well. Probably a little bit heavier than Luster. I don't know, I haven't read these books yet. But, ooh, I just got like chills all over my arms. I'm really excited about this book. It's a really, really short book. Like, these are both very short books. So, oof. I'm ready for it, I think. I know it might break me. I know I might be super emotional reading it. Maybe I'll have to do like a reading vlog for it. If you're interested, let me know. But yeah, I'm very, very, very excited to read this book, even though I'm sure that I will cry. But hey, who doesn't like crying when you read a book? I feel like that's a sign of a very good book. Okay, so this is the last book that I got from Target, and this is Life's Too Short by Abby Jimenez, and I was very intrigued by this book, mainly because of the title. I love Frozen. If you didn't know, I'm like a huge Frozen fan, and I really love the deleted songs from Frozen. So in Frozen, the first movie, there's a deleted song called Life's Too Short, and it's one of my favorites. Anyway, this is an adult romance book. I'm very excited to read it. It says, when Vanessa Price quit her job to pursue her dream of traveling the globe, she wasn't expecting to gain millions of YouTube followers, subscribers, who shared her joy of seizing every moment. For her, living each day to its fullest isn't just a motto. Her mother and sister never saw the age of 30, and Vanessa doesn't want to take anything for granted. But after her half-sister suddenly leaves Vanessa in custody of her baby daughter, life goes from daily adventure to next-level bad, now with bonus baby vomit and hair. The last person Vanessa expects to show up offering help is the hot lawyer next door, Adrian Copeland. No one warned her that he was the secret baby tamer, or that she'd be spending a whole lot of time with him and his geriatric chihuahua. Now she's feeling things that she vowed not to feel, because the only thing worse than falling for Adrian is finding a little hope for a future she may never see. This sold me. I read this synopsis in Target and I was like, yes, I need to read this. It sounds like something that I'm really going to love, that I'm just gonna fly right through. So I'm so excited to read this book. I haven't read a good adult romance in so long, so I feel like this is a necessary purchase. The next book is one that I don't know too much about, but I did get sent by the publisher, and that is The Outside by Ada Hoffman. And I am fairly certain that this has an autistic main character, and I know that it's also written by an autistic author, so that's super exciting. Yes, it says, autistic scientist Yasira Sheehan has developed a radical new energy drive on board the Pride of Jai that could change the future of humanity. But when she activates it, reality warps, destroying the space station and everyone left inside. It's sci-fi. You know me, I'm not a huge sci-fi reader. However, I did want to give this a chance, mainly because it has an autistic main character. The author is autistic. I really wanted to see how I would like this book, if it could get me into sci-fi. So I am really excited to read this book. Like I said, I got it from the publisher, so I don't know too much about this book, but I am totally willing to read it, and hopefully I will enjoy it. The stack is growing. It might be a little, almost as tall as I am. The next book is one that I have been super excited about, and I was like, I heard about it, and then literally the next thing I knew, it was already out. So I was like, okay, I guess I have to buy this book. And this is A Fate of Wrath and Flame by K.A. Tucker. She wrote the book The Simple Wild, and I loved that book. That was one of the first like real adult romances that I'd ever read, and I loved it. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. It's lived in my head rent-free ever since I read it. Anyway, when I saw that she was putting out like a fantasy romance, I was like, ooh, I'm gonna have to buy that. I'm gonna have to get it. So it says, she would know the world of vengeful gods and monsters, and the lengths one would go for love, and nothing would ever be the same for her again. Gifted thief Romaria has flourished from her days as a street kid pilfering wallets to survive. Now she thrives stealing jewels from the rich under the involuntary employ of New York City's most notorious crime boss. But when an enigmatic woman secures her services at sword point, Romaria is plunged into a startling realm of opposing thrones, warring elven, and elemental magic she cannot begin to fathom. Doesn't that sound exciting? It's like a modern fantasy romance. I'm sure it's gonna be fun. So I'm ready for it. It's also kind of thick. Only 2 more books left. We're almost done. So the next book is one that I have been hearing so many good things about, literally all over Twitter, TikTok, everybody cannot stop talking about it who's read it, so I knew that I needed to pick it up, and that is The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. I don't know how to pronounce that name, I'm so sorry, but I'm very excited for this book. And this is the one where I'm like, I'm pretty sure that it might be dark academia. I need to double check. It says, the Alexandrian society, caretakers of lost knowledge from the greatest civilizations of antiquity, are the foremost secret society of magical academicians in the world. Those who earn a place among the Alexandrians will secure a life of wealth, power, and prestige beyond their wildest dreams. Wildest dreams, And each decade, only the 6 most uniquely talented magicians are selected to be considered for initiation. So wait, magicians or academicians? Wait, is academicians like a real word? Hold on. Maybe I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. It is a real word. Hold on.
Academician.
Oh, I said it correctly. Hold on 1 second.
Academician.
I said it correctly. Academician. Look at me, my big brain. Anyway, like I've said, I've heard so many good things about this book. I'm so ready for it. Also, it's a nice, giant, floppy paperback. We love that. So yeah, I'm very ready for this book. I'm super excited. I think I'm gonna enjoy it, and from the synopsis, it definitely sounds like dark academia. And the very last book in this haul is For the Wolf by Hannah Witten, and I also follow this author on Twitter as well. So I was super excited and anticipating this book. This is a fantasy adult book. Also, this is gorgeous because it is like a soft cover book, but it does have deckled edges. I don't know if you can see that. Look at the deckled edges right there. I love deckled edges. I know that's not super popular amongst some people, but I do love them. And in the synopsis it says, his eyes arc away from her, in the waiting wilder wood beyond the ring of cleared ground. I warned you before, Red. None of the stories here have happy endings. I almost dropped the book. As the only second daughter born in centuries, Red has one purpose, to be sacrificed to the wolf in the wilder wood in the hope he'll return the world's captured gods. Red is almost relieved to go. Plagued by a dangerous power she cannot control, she knows that at least in the wilder wood she can't hurt those she loves again. But the legends lie. The wolf is a man, not a monster. Her magic is a calling, not a curse. And if she doesn't learn how to use it, the monsters the gods have become will swallow the wilder wood and her world whole. Hannah Witten's richly imagined debut is a sweeping tale of love, legends, and the secrets that hide beyond the trees. This sounds like it's gonna be the perfect book for me. I'm so excited. I've heard so many good things about this book. Like I've said for so many books in this stack, I've heard great things. So I'm very excited to read this book. It seems to have some pretty good praise and reviews, so I'm ready for it. I think that this is definitely one that's high priority on my TBR. I definitely want to get to it. Actually, I don't know. Maybe I want to save it for the fall and winter time. It kind of seems like that book. So maybe I'll put it off until fall and winter. I'm not sure, but I am very excited to read it. Look at all these books. I can't. They're literally choking me. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. I just hauled a lot of books. How many was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 books right there. That's too many. I definitely have to go on a book buying ban for now, which is probably a really good thing because I have plenty of physical books, plenty of audiobooks. So I am definitely not in need of any new books at the moment. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to do a book buying ban. But I hope you all enjoyed this haul. Let me know down below in the comments if you've read any of these books, if you've purchased any of these books, if you're excited for any of them. Let me know if there's any of these books that I should prioritize on my TBR. I definitely want to know. And if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Also go ahead and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Goodreads. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye!
Ooh.